In the heart of rural Wisconsin lies a place of profound spiritual significance, the National Shrine of Our Lady of Champion. This site marks the location of the first and only approved Marian Apparition in the United States, a place where Mary appeared to a young nun and gave a message to the entire world. You may have heard of this shrine as the National Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help, but recently, in April 2023, the name was officially changed to the National Shrine of Our Lady of Champion. This apparition site and shrine is only growing in popularity and now draws pilgrims from across the country and beyond. Keep watching to learn the amazing story of America's Mary. The main character in the story of the apparition of Our Lady of Champion is Adele Brise.
Adele was born in Dijon-Laval, Belgium, and she grew up loving our Lord and Our Lady. She had such a devotion to mission and to catechesis and teaching. She even made a promise to the nuns that helped her receive her first Holy Communion that she wanted to serve them in missions in Belgium, in a place called Champion, Belgium. That whole plan was put on hold when her parents told her that they wanted to immigrate to the United States, to Wisconsin.
The Brise family's early years in Wisconsin were challenging as they faced harsh winters in difficult wooded terrain, far from the farmland that they had been promised.
So when Adele was traveling through this dense woods in 1859, she came across a mysterious woman, and she described her as clothed in dazzling white, with 12 stars around her head, a yellow sash around her waist. So Adele sees this woman, she says nothing. And that was something that was confusing to Adele. She didn't quite know what to think of it. And later on, she was on her way to Mass. This was October 9th, 1859. And she was walking with some companions, and she saw the same woman dressed in white with 12 stars around her head, standing between the same two trees. Her companions couldn't see what she was seeing. She came and approached her priest in his wisdom and in his faithfulness. He told Adele to ask this woman, in God's name, who are you and what do you want of me? Adele did just that when she saw this mysterious woman in the same spot between the same two trees. And this is when our Blessed Mother gives her message to Adele. I am the Queen of Heaven who prays for the conversion of sinners, and I wish you to do the same. You received Holy Communion this morning, and that is well, but you must do more. And Adele said, what more can I do, dear lady? The Blessed Mother looked at Adele and she said, gather the children in this wild country and teach them what they should know for salvation. She gave them 3: how to approach the sacraments, how to make the sign of the cross, and their catechism. The state of Wisconsin was growing rapidly, and there weren't enough priests to give children or adults proper religious education. Our Lady's need for her children to be properly brought into the faith and taught how to approach the sacraments was really great. And so Adele entered into that mission. She went around the country side, teaching the children exactly what Our Lady asked.
As Adele continued on her mission from Mary, she formed a community to help her, and they actually set up right where Mary had appeared to her. With the help of this community, she built a little wooden chapel and a wooden schoolhouse on the apparition site. Much good came through both of these buildings, and it was clear that God's blessing and grace was upon that holy ground. This was shown most clearly on the night of October 8th, 1871, the same night as the Great Chicago Fire. Many people don't know that an even more devastating fire was blazing in northeastern Wisconsin.
This was called the Great Fire of 1871, or the Great Peshtigo Fire. Around 1.3 million acres were burned through this fire, and between 1,500 and 2,500 people lost their lives that night. Adele chose to stay on the grounds of where our Blessed Mother appeared. She chose to stay and pray. And in others' faith, they fled to the wooden chapel as well. They put a statue and processed it around the sacred grounds. They prayed rosaries all night long. They described the fire going up to the grounds and around it. And the morning of October 9th, 1871, they describe a rain that came down and put out the fire. There was a priest that was documenting the Great Peshtigo Fire, the Great Fire of 1871, and he described the grounds of the shrine after this fateful night. He described them as an emerald isle in a sea of ashes. It's an incredible miracle that took place. It was something that the bishop took into account as he was investigating whether the apparitions were worthy of belief.
Long after the fire, Adele and her sisters continued to teach and catechize the children there. Later, Adele suggested and got approval for the town of Robinsonville, where the chapel was, to be renamed to Champion after the town in Belgium. The chapel and grounds continued to grow, but in 1896, at age 66, Adele passed away.
The process for growing a devotion is very organic here at the shrine. It is very humble. It's still humble today. And it's exactly how our Blessed Mother wants it. We truly believe that.
The shrine grounds are humble, but have a lot to offer pilgrims. At the center of the grounds is the chapel, built on the exact site of the apparition in the original chapel. This chapel was built in 1942 and is a beautiful Tudor Gothic style. Underneath the chapel is the apparition oratory, a spot for pilgrims to pray before the statue of Mary and witness a collection of crutches left in thanksgiving by those who were healed at the shrine. The oratory also contains a reliquary with relics from the original trees of the apparition site, from Adele herself, and from countless other saints. The grounds surrounding the chapel continue to be developed and now contain a rosary walk, Stations of the Cross walkway, and multiple other outdoor grottos. Directly to the east of the chapel lies Adele's grave, which is still open for veneration today.
Many people travel from close distances, but more and more we're seeing people coming from Texas, California, New York, Japan, from Belgium, from Italy. So many just incredible pilgrimage stories. And it's because they've been invited by Our Lady. There's no other reason for it. That every single person who steps on these grounds, there's a reason that they're here. They have a story. Whether they're looking for spiritual healing or physical healing, our Blessed Mother wants to show them something deeper about our Lord, her Son, Jesus Christ.
Many pilgrims encounter healings, transformations, or blessings that they attribute to the intercession of Our Lady of Champion and Adele. Some of these stories are especially remarkable.
A woman, she was a grandmother who her son had leukemia. He had a surgery that was scheduled for a dangerous bone marrow transplant. And in their faith, they came to the shrine and they prayed to Our Lady to heal him. And she even describes this little boy looking up to the statue of Mary and saying, "Jesus, make me better." That next day, the doctor comes in and he exclaims that there's no leukemia in his little body whatsoever, that he was completely healed.
I am a 90-year-old. For 50-some years, I had a terrible case of asthma. At work in 2011, people said, "Jack, you know, you don't have to live with this. Have you heard about our Shrine of Our Lady of Champion?" And as a scientist, I thought to myself, that's probably a placebo effect. I'm just not sure how I feel about that. But I did come out here and check it out. And I went down to the oratory here and prayed right at the apparition site. I said, "Mary," I said, "I'm a skeptic. I've heard things about this place, but I have had this for 50 years. But if you can do something about it, I appreciate it." And I left there that day not really expecting that much. Didn't really believe anything would happen. But October came along for the first time in 50 years and I had no symptoms. And no symptoms since then. And so I came to believe very shortly after that that I'd been healed here.
There are countless other stories just like Jack's. Not all approved miracles, of course, but all clear evidence of the devotion to the Blessed Mother at the shrine.
Recently, Bishop Ricken of the Diocese of Green Bay has had a desire to investigate further the life of Adele Brise, the seer of Our Lady of Champion. And so he presented the life of Adele Brise to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops on June 14th, 2024, and they unanimously voted to move her cause forward.
This marks the first step in the process of potentially recognizing Adele Brise as a saint in the Catholic Church, a process that requires multiple approved miracles and often takes many years. God willing, her canonization would reflect the growing devotion and significance of Our Lady of Champion in the United States and around the world.
If this story has inspired someone, has stirred in their heart an opportunity to visit Our Lady of Champion, I just want to give a heartfelt welcome to you, and that an invitation that you are welcome here, and that we hope to welcome you with open arms and show you that you can have a personal experience with Our Lady, that ultimately she can bring you to the heart of Jesus Christ. That's her only goal.
The Shrine of Our Lady of Champion stands as a testament to faith, hope, and the enduring presence of Mary in the lives of believers. Whether seeking spiritual renewal, physical healing, or simply a moment of peace, visitors to this sacred site continue to find solace and inspiration. As the devotion and attention to Our Lady of Champion continues to grow, consider making your own pilgrimage out to the site to see the United States' very own Marian Apparition. Thank you for watching the Leaflet Missal YouTube channel. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, please subscribe below. Remember that Leaflet Missal also has a store of tens of thousands of Catholic products, gifts, devotionals, and more for you to shop. You can shop in person in our St. Paul store or online at the link below. Thank you.